If your son or daughter has dyslexia or is just plain struggling to read, we're here to help. My name is Shahzad. I'm one of the co-founders here at Axiom Learning, and we've got a webinar coming up on July 1st, where we're going to give you at least 5 tips to help your kids get better at reading. One of the things we're going to talk about, for example, is what to do about the fact that reading is not actually a natural brain function. So if you think about language and how we acquire it, we don't acquire language by reading it when we're infants to toddlers. We acquire it by listening to it. So it's an auditory process. And so as you can see on the slide, there are a whole stack of brain functions that have to happen for reading to happen effectively and easily. And in fact, what we've learned now is that for kids that have dyslexia, the parts of the brain and the pathways of the brains that they use for reading are actually different than their peers. So whereas for most kids, phonics works. So P, for example, sounds like puh, U sounds like ah. For some of the kids that we get a chance to work with, it's not that they can't read, it's that they need that one little extra step to support them as they get to that process of learning how to read. And so what you want to do, one of the things that we'll talk about is the importance of establishing what we call a sound symbol connection. What that means is that they're kind of learning over time to connect certain symbols that they see with certain sounds that they hear at the same time. So if they're doing it on their own, it's a little bit of a struggle. But if your kids are a little bit younger and you're reading to them, right, it's a good idea to kind of have the book open for them and actually have your finger going over the words as you're saying them. And over time, what will happen is your younger kids will start to associate the symbols that they're seeing with the sounds that you're saying at the time that you're pointing to those symbols. For your older kids and your teens, you should take advantage of the fact that just about every school district in the country, when they purchase textbooks, they require the publisher to also provide books on tape or audible versions of those books, because for some kids, they rely on the audio versions as opposed to just the text version. And again, you want to do the same thing, where as they're reading the book, they've got the audio version playing as well, and so they can kind of connect the sounds, or the words in this case, to the words that they're reading in the book. It just makes life a lot easier for them, right? So that's just one of many tips we're going to have. So again, it's July 1st. It's 11 a.m. on the West Coast, 2 p.m. on the East Coast. If you live somewhere in the middle or outside the country, you do the math. Either way, we'd love to see you. Please do register. Again, that's July 1st. And hopefully we'll see you then.